and welcome to my channel. Today we have something very special for you. We're going to look at Mike Confallone's Allagash Railway Model Railroad. I found these videos on the Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine channel, so check out their channel and don't forget to subscribe when you're out there. Today we're going to look at how Mike creates a sense of travel, what he did with the grass, snow, and weathering techniques, and lastly we're going to listen to some amazing sound locomotives and we're going to look at some operations. If you want to see more of these topics after my video, please have a look at the Allagash DVDs, where he goes in detail in operations, how we build the layout, and his weathering. Now off to the layout. The Allagash Railway is a proto-freelance HO scale layout of the Allagash Railway Model Railroad. The Allagash is based in west central and northern Maine in the early spring of 1985. The layout is about 50 by 25 feet and the construction started in 2006. So if you don't know where Maine is, it's in the northeastern corner of the US, where it gets very cold in winter. And this is the layout track plan. It's quite spacious. He could have added a lot more trackage, but as you'll see in the imageries in a minute, it's not always about adding more track. So let's start off by looking how he created a sense of travel. There are two main components of this. The first is to hide the train behind different elements and to go through and over different elements. So here we pop up out of a forest, we go through a bridge and over a river. Here we go behind the gas station, and here we dive into a cut in the land, covered by some trees and foliage, so the train disappears nicely. And you might have already noticed it, but a second very important element of adding a sense of travel is speed. Better said, the lack of it. So if you have a 10-foot layout, but you want to make it feel like it's a 20-foot layout, well, just go half of the speed. Then it will take twice as long to get from one end to the other end. I must say he operates at a very low speed, also testing my patience, but it does really add a sense of travel. When less is more, you really have to look at all the details, and grass is a big part of this layout. See how flat it is here? Because it is spring, so the snow probably flattened the dead grass before, so it's not sticking up. But then again, it is spring, so here you see some green new grass slowly popping up and sticking out. And a small detail I really love to see on a lot of layouts is patches of snow. Where would the snow be? Well, it would be in a ditch, it would be on the shadow side of a mountain, it would also be higher up because the temperature is colder as you go higher. And on a steep edge, the sun doesn't hit the snow as perpendicular as it would do in, let's say, a football field, so less of the heat will be transferred to the snow, thus it doesn't melt as quickly. Some other secrets I spotted are the backdrops. Here the backdrop is basically a very steep mountain, and then it goes into the hillside, which is all carved rock. And here he also creates a really great sense of travel by having a cut in the rock. And note how high that cut is, that's almost half a foot right there. But backdrops can also be very easy. Here it's just a photo, and it's blended in by the road, which I think is modeled, but it could even be the photo. Here you see it as well, just some poles in the foreground, one or two trees to blend in the background, and it just looks so realistic. Here you see more of it, so you get the larger trees in the foreground to create a sense of distance and the separation of the foreground to the background, and then it's just a lot of photo backdrops. Another element you can use are factories. Here, if I look carefully, I think the perspective on the silver silos is different than the white ones, so I think it's a photo. It's done so well, I can't even see if it's modeled. Rolling forward, here we see some more beautiful backdrop, and we go into the next topic of blending. Look how all the colors are blended in nicely together and nothing pops out. Normally all these locomotives and cars would be a very shiny plasticky color, but they're not. And everything is weathered. See here the shed, how the smoke residue at the top of the entrance where the locomotive comes out. And here the cars are weathered of course as well. Some are a bit more rusty and grimy than others, which is totally prototypical because some cars might be new and some might come from the west of the country. Another very important aspect to weather are the locomotives, because this is what you're going to be looking at most of the time. And these are all weathered very subtly. They look old, they look grimy, but it's not overdone. It's not that the locomotives are falling apart. It's just a matter of accenting the details that are there. And as you see in the scene here, it looks very believable and very credible. I've never been to Allagash, but I imagine this is what it looks like. So let's have a quick look at some operations. There's a car waiting at Andover. It has to go to the International Pulpwood Yard on the left, and we're coming in with 3 cars and they have to be spotted at the the wood chipper. We got to end up with the caboose on the back of the locomotive, and then we head off in eastward direction. So as you see the locomotive coming in, first we have to get that car out of the way, and we're going to spot those 3 hoppers at the chipper. Don't worry about the sound I left out, we're going to come back to that in a minute. So this whole segment, without speeding it up, lasts about 2 minutes. Something I want to point out is the depth of this layout. This looks more like a shelf layout. It's hardly 1 foot deep. And see how much detail and how much realism and how much storytelling it gets just in this 1 foot. So now we spotted the cars at the wood chipper, we just need to spot the last one at the paperboard yard. So for this we're going to do a runaround, and look how we already have conveniently placed the caboose at the back of the locomotive. So now I showed you some of the secrets that Mike used to create a sense of travel, what he did with the detailing and the grass, how he created his backdrops, and how he tied the whole scene together with weathering. I would like to leave you with perhaps one of the most important aspects, sound. So sit back and enjoy this last clip and have a listen to that great diesel engine. And again, if you want to see more of this great layout, please look at the DVDs of the Allagash Railway. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you want to see more videos just like this. Thank you very much. That's all for now. Bye bye.
Okay.